I'll call the September 17, 2018 City Council meeting to order. Call of the roll.
John Hawkins,
Here.
Matt McKinney,
Here.
Brian Miller,
Here.
Jim Talbot,
Here.
Logan Welch.
Here.
Call for motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item A, petitions, communications and requests. This is the time of the meeting that a citizen may address the council on a matter not on the agenda. Except in cases of emergency, the City Council will not take any action at this meeting, but may ask City staff to research the matter or have the matter placed on the agenda for a future meeting. Gerald, I think you've got.
My name's Harold Huseman. I am here to represent the Doodlebug Club here in Webster City. As most of you know, we had our Doodlebug reunion this year. It was a very big success, lots of new people. Our FFA supper went well, and they were happy with the turnout themselves. So on behalf of the Doodlebug Club, I would like to thank the entire community and the city for their cooperation and friendliness to the Doodlebug Club members that traveled as far as 2,200 miles from California, New York, Alabama, New Hampshire, Michigan, North and South Dakota, and many more states. Also, we're grateful to our local businesses that have supported our club as supporting members. I'd like to thank Mayor Hawkins for coming out on Saturday and greeting our members at our annual meeting. We appreciate the cooperation of the Park and Recreation Department, the Police Department, in allowing access to the city trails and streets during the event. We heard many comments from our visiting members, how friendly and welcoming our community is. So we should all be proud of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
John, I have one thing, if there's nothing else.
Yes, ma'am.
I did go out Friday night, my wife and I really appreciate a lot of folks out there, a lot of, as you guys said when you were out there a couple weeks ago, the biker gang, you know, a lot of scooters inside, so great meal. Also, Sunday, Sons of the American Legion had a lunch out at the airport. And I want to thank some people. We had the Iowa National Guard out of Boone brought a Black Hawk helicopter up. They had that in the paper this morning, and that looked good. So that was pretty nice. We planned on them. Then Air National Guard from Fort Dodge had some people out there. They passed out a lot of stuff, had a lot of people talking to them. Interesting. The third thing is our local fire department was out there, and they brought an engine out, and we had Jeff Fox and Cole Youngdale. And it was very impressive because a lot of people came up, and there was adults and kids climbing up, and they were showing them how everything worked. So thank you for that. And it was pretty good. All the proceeds were going to the Webster Sons of American Legion Scholarship Fund. So appreciate everybody coming out.
Anyone else have anything for us? We have I'll do a proclamation on the National Rail Safety Week, is September 23rd to the 29th. National Rail Safety Week, whereas 2,105 rail grade crossing collisions resulted in 807 personal injuries and responsible for 274 fatalities in the United States during 2017. And 1,027 trespassing incidents have occurred in the United States, resulting in 520 pedestrians being killed and another 507 injured while trespassing on railroad property right-of-ways during 2017. And educating and informing the public about rail safety, reminding the public that railroad right-of-ways are private property, enhancing public awareness of the dangers associated with highway rail grade crossings, ensuring pedestrians and motorists are looking and listening while near railways, and obeying established traffic laws will reduce the number of fatalities and injuries. And whereas the International Association of Chiefs of Police, National Operation Lifesaver, United States Department of Transportation, and all local, state and county and railroad law enforcement officers, first responders, and railroad corporations commit to partnering together in an effort to educate at the national level all aspects of railroad safety to enforce applicable laws in the support of National Rail Safety Week. Therefore, I, John Hawkins, Mayor, do hereby attest my full support proclaiming September 23rd to the 29th of 2018 as National Rail Safety Week, and I encourage all citizens to recognise the importance of rail safety education. See tracks, think train. Okay. The next thing on the agenda is we have a presentation of the Life Saving Commendation Awards. Chuck, would you like to come on up?
Thank you, Mayor and council members, for the opportunity to come and share with you tonight, allowing us to honor a couple of our firefighters with Webster City this evening. Tonight we'll take a moment and remember the afternoon of August 29th, 2018. At approximately 2:10 p.m., Webster City Fire Department received a call that there were 2 people in distress on the Boone River, just south of the City Park access point. The on-duty personnel and the volunteers immediately began their response to the scene. The rescue boat responded to the access point and found one victim that was able to self-rescue themselves out of the water, but they were also stating that another victim was still in the water, approximately a quarter to a half mile down the stream. The rest of the department responded to a location that was being announced by Webster City Police Department's Officer Sam Long as confirmed location of the second victim. Webster City firefighters made contact with the victim, who was hanging onto a branch approximately 15 feet from the bank. The victim was asking for help and stated that she did not know how much longer she would be able to hold on for. A secondary swiftwater rescue point was established with tethered firefighters ready to rescue the victim if she did come off the branch. It was at this point that the Webster City rescue boat arrived and brought the boat around under the victim. With Captain Jeremy Eslin maneuvering the rescue boat under the branch, Captain Hayes was able to grab the victim and bring her safely into the rescue boat. The 2 then brought the victim over to the shore, where Webster City Fire and Van Diest medical personnel gave the patient medical attention. The patient ended up refusing any further treatment and was released with just minor bumps and bruises. It's a proud day to be a part of the Webster City Fire Department. An organization like this is just an honor to be a part of. Each member that responded that day did an amazing job. As members were arriving, each took appropriate actions that we train on regularly to make every effort for a positive outcome. With this last season on rivers across the state, there have been many unfavorable situations that did not turn out like this one did. But because of the quick, professional actions of the department, and more specifically Captain Hayes and Captain Eslin, the victim was rescued. Webster City Fire Department is a family of members, and each firefighter comes together to work as a team. Like a professional team, the other responders that were on scene the day they had secondary rescue efforts established and ready to go. Our firefighters at least once a year train on this very kind of scenario, so they were very ready for it. I would also, as I see a couple of the family members in the crowd tonight, I'd like to take a minute and thank each and every one of the family members of our firefighters. Some who may not be here tonight, or that are, without their constant support and understanding, we would not be able to serve our community and respond to the calls that we do. So thank you all for your sacrifices throughout the year that allow our members to train and respond and be Webster City firefighters. So tonight I award the life-saving commendation to Captain Brandon Hayes and Captain Jeremy Eslin for their swiftwater rescue on August 29th. Please join me as they come up with congratulating them for a job very well done as they serve our community. And the mayor will do the pinning tonight.
Missed you. Yeah, true. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Gotta get one more picture here from both of you.
Thank you to the whole team. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thanks very much, fellas. You all look good tonight too. Okay, item 1 on the agenda is a 5:35 PM is the time for a public hearing on option to purchase city-owned property located at Ohio Street. I'll open the hearing. Are there any written objections?
Received no written objections.
Are there any oral objections? Yeah, you can come up to the podium.
I'd like to thank the council for the time to come up and speak. Looking at the newspaper ad that you had describing the property and what you were trying to do is, and I was hoping that maybe that you would continue with that property on and keep it as a cemetery. And I realized that you already have land bought, I believe on the west side of Beach Street for more cemetery plots. And I realized that a lot of people are being cremated and they aren't taking up big spaces, so you've got probably more space now with that process going on. Anyway, that's one of my thoughts was, I don't know how much investigation's going into it. Obviously, the city feels like they need more housing or more apartment housing or something. And of course, I disagree with that. The city shouldn't be in the housing business and should finance the housing, but that's just me. And the other thought I had was that when you sell public land, like the land that belongs to the city, the public hearing and everybody's offered a chance to buy that land because it is public property. That's a big concern for me. And anyway, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Did you want to put an offer in for the land? Is that what you mean? Or?
Well, sure. I mean, everybody ought to have a chance to buy that land.
Well, they do.
But you had no public hearing and you brought it up in front of no one. That's my point.
Well, this is a public hearing.
Yeah, but you've already got it said and done. It's all you're going to sell it to somebody else. And
Well, it's an option. It's not being sold yet.
right.
But it's,
Anyway,
Can you say your name and address just for those who don't know who you are?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you state your name and address for those who don't
okay.
know who you are?
Sure. I'm John, John Hemingway, Hemingway, former mayor and councilman of Webster City. Oh, by the way, I bought the land for the fire station. It used to be a gas station and Forster's Dairy. And I'm real proud of the fire station. Good to see those people here. Anyway, I know you haven't answered my question, but I think I put forth a reasonable thought about what are you gonna do with the land. And I've been in your shoes, so I just wanted you to hear what I had to say, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
thanks, John. Any other oral objections? I'll close the hearing. Who wants to talk on this? Carl or Zach? Zach?
I guess I got nominated. So this is an option agreement. We spent a great deal of time putting this together. It's for essentially a term, what it's saying is, it's contingent upon, obviously, the entity that wants to buy it, WC Partners, that they are able to get the IFA award as discussed. If they're unsuccessful and/or they miss the deadline to apply, this option obviously just terminates at that point in time. If they are successful in receiving it, then it puts a 9-month window on from the due date of their filing until executing this agreement. It's also contingent upon entering into a development agreement with them. Obviously, the city, as we've done projects like this in the past, wanted to make sure we have a development agreement with them so we know what's going in, how it's going to look, if there's any incentives or anything like that, obviously go along with it. Got the property appraised, $153,000 is the purchase price per the option agreement that you guys see. What else? Everything else pretty standard, I guess. We've given access to the real estate. We've agreed they give us 24-hour notice if they need to go on and do any sort of testing and all that. Obviously, they carry the liability if they enter the property. I can answer any questions for you guys.
Would, like, other people be able to bid on this now at the same time?
That's what this public hearing, if someone were to show up today and put an offer, or put a bid in on it, they have every right to.
But theirs is still contingent on something happening in November, is that correct?
Right, so, yeah, so this is an exclusive our option, so from now, if they're successful and they get the award, then in the meantime, until we find out, they still have an exclusive option, so no, we couldn't sell it to anybody else in the meantime. But if they're, like I said, if they miss the deadline, we have it in there, if they don't apply, for some reason they decide not to apply, or they miss the due date to apply, and or they find out they were unsuccessful in receiving the IFA award, then it just voids this contract. For both sides, they don't wanna obviously go forward when they don't have an IFA award, we don't want the ground tied up for no reason, so.
That's the only question I had as I read through this agreement, is what the reasoning was behind 9 months after the IFA ruling.
And Jared Noak is here, he's available with the entity that's interested in purchasing or taking the option out on it, and that's just the deadline they needed to satisfy IFA.
Thanks, Zach. Thanks, council. It's a requirement by IFA. This year it was added that they require an option period be no less than 9 months. And the reason why is, due diligence and closing on these can take some time, just depending on obstacles and variables that are outside developer control, and just generally moving through council process could take some time, platting, zoning, that type of thing. Although this would ideally not be rezoned, but platting can take a while, as you guys know. So they want to make sure that there's an appropriate period of time that if you're awarded the project, that you can get the deal closed and someone doesn't come in after the fact and take the land out. If it were 3 months and you're not closed yet, someone else sells it, and now you've got an award and no site. So it's just kind of a protection to put in there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Is this a local bidder?
Hey, pardon?
Is this a local bidder
They're from Kansas City.
He's from Kansas City.
Yeah.
or? Oh, okay.
Any other questions? No? Good, thank you. Call for a motion on the resolution authorising and approving execution of an option to purchase real estate to WC Partners LLC of Kansas City, Missouri.
So moved. Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 2.
I'd have to go back to minutes and claims.
Oh, all right. So I was thinking. Back to the beginning. Back to B, minutes and claims. The following items have been deemed non-controversial routine actions to be approved by the council in a single motion. If a council member or a member of the audience wishes to have an item removed from this list, it will be considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. I have Items 1, 2 and 3. 1 is minutes of September 4th, 2018. 2 is a resolution on payroll for period ending September 1st, 2018 and paid on September 7th, 2018. And 3 is a resolution on bills and the funds list. How would you like to move?
Move to approve collectively.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 2 is a recommended approval of for issuance of beer and liquor licences by the Iowa Department of Commerce for the following. A is a renewal of a Class C liquor licence, outdoor service and Sunday sales for C&C American Tap at 526 2nd Street. B is a renewal of Class C liquor licence, outdoor service and Sunday sales for Carpi's Biker Bar at 732 2nd Street. C is a renewal of Class C beer permit and Sunday sales for La Perla Jaroka at LLC at 611 2nd Street. And D is new 5-day licence for St. Thomas Aquinas, special Class C liquor licence and outdoor service at 624 Dubuque Street for events scheduled on Saturday, October 6th of 2018. Call for motion.
I move to approve collectively.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 3 on the agenda is an appointment of Sarah Wolford to the City Planning and Zoning Commission for the unexpired term ending of May 31st, 2020. Call for a motion.
So moved. Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 4 is the second reading of a proposed ordinance, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Webster City, Iowa, 1996 by amending Chapter 123 pertaining to zoning as it relates to fences. No, Carla's not here. She took off. So I guess this is our one that was put to us from P&Z. This is our second reading. So, anyone have any questions on it? Couldn't find them. I don't know where Carla went.
Has there been any pushback, like coming into City Hall, asking questions about it in the last couple weeks?
The past week, I haven't heard anything.
Because I haven't personally heard anything either. I just didn't know if you guys.
I haven't had anybody speak to me at all about it. But
I think the only issue was they were worried that
past ones.
past ones, they're grandfathered in, so that pretty much took care of that issue. I'll move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Did you want to waive the third reading, or you want to just wait?
If there's no hurry on this, I'd rather.
There's no hurry, so I don't see any problem with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we at? 4? 5, yeah. Second reading of a proposed ordinance, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Webb City, Iowa, 1996 by amending Chapter 99 pertaining to sewer rental. Jack, you want to talk on this?
Yeah, I can talk on this. This was a big push, obviously, right before Daniel left. This was with, after a meeting with Greg Sint, who's our engineer for the waste treatment plant and just waste treatment in general. He's been since I've been here, I think 2016 was the last time that he made a big push as to update these sewer rental amounts, penalty amounts specifically, to bring it into line with other communities. Obviously, we were a little light on that aspect. And so this has just been pretty much taking his recommendations and updating the rental rates, or the penalty rates per se, for various TK and COBD, or yeah, CO, was it CO? Yeah.
BD.
Yeah, and then amount of gallons you can send down and all that stuff per day. It's just an update for those that violate the amounts they're allowed to send, so brings it into conformity with other communities.
We had talked about having a meeting with one of the dumpers.
For the waste, that's tomorrow.
Right, and
But
we're actually-
That's a separate deal to this one.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was somewhat confusing to everybody that, that was on a separate motion, that the policy the council set, and we did not only the company that showed here last time, but we invited everybody that was affected by it, the haulers that used to haul down there. And so tomorrow we'll meet and talk about it.
Yeah, so that's not affected by chapter 99, which you guys are passing tonight. This is just address those users that have agreements with the city as far as what taking their waste and the penalty for violating. So.
It was confusing because first reading, motion was made on first reading as well as two other items in that same motion. But the waste haulers has nothing to do with the ordinance that you're approving.
Outside of the waste haulers, I mean, I've met with Vera Blue in this time frame too, two of us punting it a couple weeks and discussing it. And I think others have been reached out to as well. Has there been any collaboration with Vera Blue and the city directly in the last couple weeks?
Not really, I don't think, is there?
No, for this issue.
I haven't heard anything either.
I just didn't know if there's been any meetings of their take on it or pushback or their none of pushback, so.
No.
No, just curious.
I know they're obviously aware of it. I mean, all the users are.
I haven't had any calls from anybody in the last week, so, yeah.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 6 is a resolution to approve the commitment of matching funds for an application for funding to the Iowa Finance Authority in support of the Heart of Iowa Regional Housing Trust Fund. This is yours, Lindsay. Literally. Yeah.
Good evening. As you know, the Iowa Finance Authority certified the Heart of Iowa Regional Housing Trust Fund that we have a partnership between Hamilton and Webster County. So the application for the funding for the first year that would be eligible for funding is due at the end of this month. And the application for that award requires a match commitment. The total match commitment between Hamilton and Webster counties is $54,277, of which Hamilton County is responsible for $15,740. I went and spoke to 3 local banks, the Bela, Webster City Financial, and First State Bank, and they all 3 committed to $1,000 apiece to go towards that match. And so after that amount, I talked to the county and we agreed that just since everything else is divided per capita between the 2 counties, we would stick with that formula. So Webster City has about 51% of the population. So of the remaining match, after the bank's $3,000 in commitment, our commitment would be $6,497.40. And we'll just go into that fund on top of the award itself. So that's just money going to help with those housing rehab loans. So.
And how many thousand we're up for?
The total amount is $217,108 between the 2 counties, and then we get our share per capita for that.
Yep.
Which this year it was a little bit less than the year before. The per capita amount fluctuates a bit, so it's down to I think it's $1.25. So it was around just under 80,000 that we'd be getting just for our county.
Yep.
So we should be able to help around 7 to 8 households per year, not counting any additional funds that might be donated to the new 501c3.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe for the benefit of the community, I mean, we're all familiar with this program, but like, what is this program's goal? Can you kind of explain that a little bit for the paper and the community?
Sure. I mean, we'd had previous sessions on this approving so we are one of 6 counties in the state that was not part of a local housing trust fund already. The state thinks that maybe we had one formed in the 70s when they were popular and first developing, but it fell apart before any state financing was available. Because we were not part of one, but we had a contingent county, a neighboring county, Webster County, that was also not a part of one, and we were both shared, we were within a Council of Governments region, Midas Council of Governments, we were eligible to form a new regional housing trust fund. This allows us to tap into those dollars, that $217,000 that was out there and available, but because we didn't have a trust fund, we weren't getting to help towards homeowner rehab. So with this program, we're starting in with just homeowner rental rehab, or not rental rehab, just homeowner housing rehab. Very simple, we, looked at other housing trust funds and how they did things. And homeowners will be eligible if they have to be up to 80% of the median income level. Then they're eligible to apply for a $10,000 forgivable loan, and 20% of that loan is forgiven each year that they continue to live in the house. So that can go towards, towards fixing a roof, it can go towards replacing a furnace, anything, that's making sure that that home is sound and safe for the homeowner. There's a higher priority for at least 30% of the funds need to expend it on what counts as the very low income category, up to 30% of the median income. And then there's also a priority for people with disabilities and seniors.
No, very good, and kind of the reason I asked is, in the past, we've always kind of encouraged people to take advantage of Midas programs and structural rehabilitation grants and stuff like that, with very little success. And as we all know, our aging home population is deteriorating quicker than I believe the investments are being put back into it. So opportunities like this are great. I assume Webster County is all moving forward as well.
Right, and they're doing the admin for this as well, which is great. It's been some heavy lifting of actually writing the application and putting together the application for certification. And they're moving forward. So Webster County we're doing basically the same thing. They went to the banks, they've got some match commitment there, and then they're dividing it between the city and county. We can only provide, Webster City can only provide a match, because our match is coming out of our LMI funds, which we also do homeowner rehab programs out of. And that can only be within the city limits, so that's why the county needed to step in, because other communities in our county of Stratford, I think Jewel, have said that they want to participate in the program, so.
Oh, very good, and I appreciate your work on this, and I look forward to hopefully getting a lot more interest in this than previous programs, and seeing it make an impact on our community and our aging homes.
If people are interested, right now I'm keeping a spreadsheet of interested applicants, so I'll take your name, your phone number, your email, your address, and then when the funding won't actually come in until the 1st of next year, then we'd open up the application at that time, and it's a first come, first served basis with those priority categories, move to the top of the list.
Quick question, you say first next year, so you're talking calendar year, is that correct?
It's January, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
the
application's
we
due
got
September.
fiscal years and everything else.
I know,
Okay,
exactly, yeah.
I've been contacted several times by people in Hamilton County Veterans Affairs and about helping disabled veterans with furnaces and things like that. Do they have a priority as far as a veteran status?
I'm trying to think if there was actually a statement in there for veterans, but if they are in that, they still would have to be income eligible. So if they're income eligible, then they'd be on that list. So if anybody contacts you, make sure they just get in touch with us and we'll put them on the list. And so, we're working, the plans are still being worked out exactly how the application process will work out. We're working with Upper Des Moines Opportunity, I believe, is gonna be doing the income verification, so.
So this won't be a targeted area of town?
No,
It could
this
be
is
Where some of the
citywide.
past CDBG, you pick an area and.
Right, and the reason partnering with Upper Des Moines Opportunity is, especially in Webster County, they have some funds available for certain things for homeowner repair, but like they can't do anything with the roof, and so you might be replacing a furnace, but the roof needs to be fixed, and so it's really gonna pair well with other programs that we already have available. And it's money that we weren't getting before, so any dollar amount helps, right? So.
Yeah, well, appreciate you finding this, because without you finding this program, we weren't doing it, so.
Well,
And that takes both counties, so.
Thank
so
you. Yeah, well, absolutely, very grateful to Webster County. I brought it to them and they took the ball and ran with it, so really great benefit to both.
Okay. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Okay, call for a motion.
So moved. Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 7 is a resolution approving the official city street financial report.
And this is just a formality for road use tax funds that we have to do it on an annual basis. And Doty's in charge of that.
I don't think anyone has any questions on it, do they? She's in getting ready for an audit, I think so.
I move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 8 is a resolution establishing depositories for the City of Webster City and financial institutions. The maximum amount which may be kept on deposit in each depository and designating authorised officers.
And again, same thing, this is a formality that Doty's put together.
It's pretty well taken Daniel off the
Right,
thing, wasn't it? That's all, because he's left, so.
I move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 9 is a resolution authorising enter into an amendment number 4 to the on-call bridge inspection and underground utility distribution systems agreement with WHKS & Co. of Ames, Iowa for engineering services in connection with the 2019 Millards Lane box culvert replacement project. Did you want to talk on that brief, Kenna? I guess we see it every week on our report, but
What this resolution does is allows WHKS, the engineering firm, to design and get the specs in order and go out for bids and replace that box culvert. Box culvert on the bottom is basically going away, so it's dire need of being replaced. We spent a little bit of time trying to decide if it was really ours or if it was the state's, and it is ours, unfortunately, so.
when they moved 17, they left
Yeah.
it to us, I suppose.
Yep.
It's funny that that piece of road is not holding up as well as the piece on the north side of the highway.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 10 is a resolution authorising the mayor and city clerk to enter into an agreement with Scott and Anderson Architects of Mason City, Iowa for architectural services in connection with the shelter at West Twin Park project.
And this is for, as it says in the memo, we have money budgeted in this year's budget to move forward in replacing the old band shelter at West Twin Park. And he'll begin some preliminary design work with Slofeld Engineering to, as far as location, meeting with the Park and Rec Commission. Arts Are Alive committee is really interested in helping that out and to determine what kind of shelter do we want there. Do we want an open shelter, or do we want an enclosed shelter with big doors that would come open and make it an open shelter? So they would go through and look at different things, and again, it's just preliminary design, so it's just for the concept of it to get ready for when we would go to final design.
Move to approve. Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item D is reports and recommendations of officers, boards and commissions. The following items have been deemed to be non-controversial, routine actions to be approved by the council in a single motion. If a council member or a member of the audience wishes to have an item removed from this list, it will be considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 1 is a motion to accept and place on file the City Manager August reports for electric, wastewater, water, electric year-to-date and water year-to-date, and code enforcement. Item 2 is a motion to accept and place on file the Fire Department August report. Item 3 is a motion to accept and place on file the Hamilton County Solid Waste Commission September agenda packet.
Move to approve collectively.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. We have item E is a homecoming parade request for September 28th. I believe that's,
I issued the permit, I contacted the departments that would be involved and they all okayed that, so I issued the permit for that.
okay. Other than that, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, everybody, we're adjourned.